Good evening, sir. We'll start the session now. We are live on YouTube. Over to you, Suresh, sir.
Has the Constable Vipul ji joined? I don't see him yet.
Not yet, sir.
Okay, I think we're waiting for him and Dr. Azad Mupin.
Sure.
I think he's trying to connect. So hold the YouTube for a while and we'll wait for them to join up.
Sure, sir.
A matter of minute or two max.
No, Vipulji should attend first.
His Excellency Vipul sir is joining us right now. Just in 1 minute.
He's also called Dr. Azad because he was trying to connect and
Yes, sir. I'm connected.
yeah. Welcome, Vipul ji.
Vipul sir's audio has to be on.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Vipul ji, good evening. Welcome.
Hello.
Vipul ji, good evening. Welcome. Good to see you.
Hi, Suresh ji. Hi, how are you?
Very good, very good. Mr. Yusuf Ali is there, Excellency. The ambassador is online, and
Okay.
Mr. Dilip Sinha, and I think we're just waiting for Dr. Azad Mupin, but we can get started,
Okay.
and then he will join us. He's trying to connect up. I think there's some challenge.
Yeah.
Shall we? Sibi, are we connected to YouTube?
Yes, sir. We are live now.
Okay, okay, good. Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear IBPC members, greetings and welcome to this evening's event, which is a farewell for His Excellency Shri Vipul, the outgoing Consul General of India. They say parting is always a sad occasion, or certainly mixed emotions. But in the case of senior diplomats and consul generals and ambassadors, we almost come to expect this every few years as they move from one location to another, to a higher position. And what they do leave behind are very enduring memories and good recollections, significant accomplishments, especially in terms of contribution to enhancing the well-being of the Indian community, for instance, the case of Shri Vipul in Dubai and Northern Emirates, and also making tremendous progress as he did in terms of furthering the relationship and the strategic nature of that relationship between India and the UAE and India and Dubai. So he, I'm sure, will carry strong memories of these few years in Dubai. And I'm also sure that in his new position in New Delhi with the Ministry of External Affairs or any other position going forward, he will always have the significant accomplishments that he achieved during his tenure here. Clearly, he rose to the occasion during the current pandemic crisis. It required leadership and he executed admirably. And more importantly, I think he ensured that the healthcare requirements of the Indian community, especially blue-collar workers, their repatriation requirements, through Vande Bharat missions, and a whole host of matters in which he clearly made huge progress. It's not an easy job, particularly the role of the Indian Consul General in Dubai, because he's really responsible for possibly one of the largest concentrations of Indian community anywhere in the world for a diplomat to cope with. So we wish him the very best as he moves ahead. And I would also like to take this opportunity to invite and welcome His Excellency Pawan Kapoor, the Indian ambassador to the UAE. We're glad that he is with us, and we're delighted that he will be speaking to us shortly. And Pawanji, the Indian Business and Professional Council is the largest and the only recognized Indian body in Dubai, representing Indian businessmen and professionals. And so we are very happy that you are able to join us today. May I request you to say a few words, Pawanji? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Suresh Kumar, Chairman IBPC, Mr. Yusuf Ali and Dr. Mupin. I guess whenever he joins us, governors of the IBPC, Mr. Dilip Sinha, Coordinator General, and of course, dear Vipul. I'm very pleased to participate today in this e-farewell for Vipul. Even though the present circumstances, as I've been telling Vipul, do not allow for a farewell befitting to what he has achieved during his tenure, I think the sentiments already expressed by his friends in our community in the UAE, some of it, which you would have seen in the newspapers today, are reflective of the high esteem that Vipul is held in and the affection that he has won from all during his tenure as Consul General in Dubai. And as Sureshji has just said, it's not one of the easiest tasks to be Consul General in Dubai. I think the 3 years that Vipul has spent in Dubai have been marked by a growing closeness between UAE and India in many spheres. And I think Vipul's contribution is evident in several of them. Even before I took over as ambassador here last October, my predecessor, Ambassador Suri, had told me about Vipul's skills in interacting with the Indian business and professional community, in fact, the entire Indian community, and how he was undertaking different initiatives to get them to work with the consulate for the welfare of our less well-off citizens. In these last 8 months that I've been here, I have seen for myself how Vipul has taken on various challenges with a cool and calm temperament and delivered the desired results. Vipul has been my eyes and ears in Dubai. So even if I've not had so many occasions to visit Dubai, you can be sure that I've been kept fully informed of all the going-ons. And of course, I've been comforted by the fact that Vipul is there to handle things. Whether it is dealing with senior ministers and officials from India, top professionals and business persons like many of those present here today, or the basic Indian worker, blue collar or whatever, Vipul is equally at ease in dealing with everyone. And it is these qualities of the heart that have earned him well-deserved praise, and I'm sure will hold him in good stead all the way through. Interacting with important organizations like the IBPC has been an integral part of Vipul's responsibilities, which he has fulfilled with great elan, as he has endeavored to promote greater trade and investment between our two countries. In the last 3.5 months, Vipul has led from the front in our efforts to deal with the impact of the coronavirus pandemic on our community in this country, whether it was working to provide food provisions to our people, or looking to establish a quarantine facility for patients, in which regard I think Dr. Mupen will be able to say more, or ensuring that the most compelling cases from the hundreds of thousands of stranded Indian citizens get to go back to India as soon as possible. Vipul has led his team in exemplary fashion and has also been a great source of strength for me here in Abu Dhabi. I would like to thank Vipul for all that he has done to keep our flag flying high in the UAE and to make all Indians proud of our representation. I know that Vipul is moving on to bigger things, but I'm sure that we'll continue to interact with him in Delhi and hopefully in the UAE also. Our loss is certainly the gain of the Indian Ministry of External Affairs. I would very much like to thank Mr. Suresh Kumar and the IBPC for organizing this innovative farewell for Vipul, and to wish Vipul the very best for his next assignment and his family all the best for the return to India. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your kind words. Now may I request our distinguished Governor, Mr. M.A. Yusuf Ali, to speak a few words. Thank you.
In the name of God, the most merciful, beneficent. Excellency Pawan Kapoorji, Ambassador of India, Sri Excellency Vipulji, Consul General of India, my friend Mr. Suresh Kumar, Chairman IBPC, and Dr. Asad Mopan, Distinguished Governor, and Mr. Dilip Sinha, Coordinator General, other friends, members of IBPC. I'm very happy to attend this virtual farewell event that we are hosting in honor of His Excellency Mr. Vipul, our Consul General. As the Consul General of India, Vipulji was greatly instrumental in cementing India's historical relationship with UAE, particularly relations with Dubai and Northern Emirate. On several occasions, I have personally witnessed the close relationship His Excellency maintained with the leadership of Dubai and Northern Emirates. Today I mentioned in the newspaper also. I know Vipulji before he came to Dubai as our Consul General. He was secretary to late Sushma Swarajji, our former Minister of External Affairs. I was a board member in India Development Foundation, in which Sushmaji was chairperson. During that time, we used to meet every 2 months for the board meetings and discussed India's development and the contributions of NRIs for the development of India under the dynamic leadership of Srimati Sushmaji. Even during that time, Vipulji was making significant contributions to IDF and also in NRI matters. During Vipulji's tenure here, he had greatly strived for the welfare of our Indian community. We have seen his valuable contributions and help and assistance to the Indian community in all difficult situations, especially during this pandemic situation. Whether to send the mortal remains of the deceased back to India, or in assisting a resident without proper travel document, he had always worked closely with the Indian community. I have always seen him smiling during his speeches and interactions, which reflects his clear heart. The Indian community in UAE will greatly miss him, as he was a Consul General of common man. I wish him and family good health and all success. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your kind words. Now may I request our distinguished governor, Dr. Azad Mupan, sir, to address the gathering. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yeah. His Excellency, the Ambassador of India, the Consul General of India, Mr. M.A. Yusuf Ali, Chairman of IBPC, Mr. Suresh Kumar, Mr. Sunil Sinha, and all the members of the IBPC. I consider it my proud privilege to participate in this function, which, even though it is something where whenever we participate in a function, we feel that we are happy, but this is a situation where it is something very sad. This is an occasion where we are bidding farewell to one of the most eminent diplomats we had in Dubai. When I say that, this comes from my heart. I have seen large number of consul generals in Dubai, but Sri Vipul, as even his name suggests that he doesn't even has a second name, has been a different consul general who was down to earth and who was always approachable and helpful. He, apart from his capabilities as a diplomat, which amply is seen in Dubai in the last 3 years, has been so helpful, and he had an open door policy to anybody who would like to meet him. That was the hallmark of something which people in Dubai will always remember and will never forget. He has been extremely active as a diplomat, especially in occasions like the visit of the Honorable Prime Minister of India to UAE, and when he visited Dubai and had the great convention here. And apart from that, recently, we had the privilege to work closely with him during the COVID crisis. When the COVID crisis started and the people were in significant trouble to find a place to be quarantined, and there was hue and cry, and people were running from pillar to post. It was Vipulji who came forward and offered support from the consulate to establish a building in Varsan where the funding came from the consulate as well as all other support. And with the government of Dubai also, the DHA getting involved, we could arrange, Astra also got involved in that from the medical side, and we could arrange the quarantining facility for large number of people from India, our community. Apart from that, we know that the Vande Bharat flights, he has been fully involved in that. I should tell you that every week, twice, we used to have a conference, teleconference, to explain to him what are the problems at the ground level. And he used to be so accessible. And this is something along with Mr. Shamsuddin bin Muhyiddin, as well as with Mustafa Ovi. We used to twice a week meet him through the teleconference. This gave lot of impetus to the activities that followed. So what I want to just express here is the sadness that we have when we are parting company with a diplomat, which usually doesn't happen because it's mostly an official post, and the occasion to closely interact with somebody like an ambassador or the consul general is rare. But in his case, for most people who have been in touch with the consulate, it has been different. He has been like a personal friend. He has been like somebody so approachable, one among them. And that will always remain in our minds, even after he leaves Dubai. We hope that at some point of time, after his jaunt in Delhi as well as in other places, he will come back to UAE as the ambassador of India in Abu Dhabi at some point of time. We wish him and his family all that is great, and may God bless him with a very bright career as well as personal and family life. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Dr. Sir. Before now, we request His Excellency Vipul Sir to address the gathering. There is a small video dedication which I would request all your attention, please.
ऐसा चढ़ गया कोई और रंग ना चढ़ सके, तेरा नाम सीने पे लिखा हर कोई आके पढ़ सके। तेरा रंग ऐसा चढ़ गया कोई और रंग ना चढ़ सके, तेरा नाम सीने पे लिखा हर कोई आके पढ़ सके। है जुनून है तेरे इश्क का, ये जुनून है रग रग में इश्क तेरा दौड़ता, ये भावना सा खून है। तूने ही सिखाया सच्चाइयों का मतलब, तेरे पास आके जाना मैंने जिंदगी का मकसद। सत्य में
Hello Vipul ji and my dear colleagues at IBPC. This is Paras Shahadadpuri, chairman of the Nikai Group of Companies. I am speaking a few words on at the occasion of the departure from UAE of Shri Vipul. He has been really an extraordinary Consul General. He has, it will be really very sad for me personally to lose my friend who has looked after the entire Indian business community, the entire Indian community so ably. I find him to be a man of extraordinary character, very balanced, level-headed, very cool, never lost his temper. I have seen him always been able to really work through his way very capably, and lately the huge task which he has handled so capably of the COVID related Indians who are returning to India. I have seen him personally going to the airport, meeting everybody to see that they are comfortable with all these special one-day flights going back to India. It's an amazing job he has done. I have not seen many consul generals doing this personally.
Your name gives us your character. V for versatile, I for informative, P for polite, U for understanding, and L for laudable. You're a people's person and you've always been very upfront and available to everybody, easily approachable, and one of the best CGs we've had since many, many years in Dubai. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And I must mention here that during your tenure, you came to the Gurdwara several times. Before you're leaving now, you've been arranging food for all the displaced people and also been arranging repatriation flights. You call yourself a TT all the time. And I think you've done a fantastic job and you'll be remembered for many, many, many years for all the humanitarian causes. You've helped so many people. God bless you.
Vipul ji is a dear friend, a self-effacing, very soft-mannered, and an extremely approachable person, despite his very high-profile role in Dubai. Dubai will remember you for three things, Vipul ji. You as a champion of change, you really transformed the passport issuance and the visa issuance process in Dubai after you came here. Dubai will, I think, remember you for raising the friendliness quotient and the performance quotient of the Consul General Office. And Dubai will certainly remember you for your passion, for your concern, for the Indian community. We will always miss your warmth and friendliness, Vipul ji. Thank you very much for what you have done to Dubai, and we wish you all the best in your new role and hope that our friendship will continue forever.
Excellency, I can't believe it's more than 3 years and you are leaving us. Time passes so fast. What can I say about you? You're the most humble, down-to-earth and an approachable person I have seen. You've not only tried to help me and my colleagues working in Danube, but also anyone who has approached you, you have gone out of the way and solved their problems. A huge amount of job has been done, especially for the Indian community in the last 3 years, and I salute you for that. Wherever you go, please be in touch with us. And my personal request to you, whenever you find time, please come to Dubai, as all of us would like to host a party in your honor, and we can all party together. All the best to you and your family. Wish you lots of success, good health and blessings always.
चढ़ गया फमशा जो और भी बढ़ गया तेरी बारिशों का करम है ये मैं निखर गया मैं संवर गया जैसा भी हूँ अपना मुझे ये नहीं है बोलना काबिल तेरे मैं बन सकूं मुझे द्वार ऐसा खोलना सांसों की इस रफ्तार को धड़कन के इस त्योहार को हर जीत को हर हार को खुद अपने इस संसार को बदलूंगा मैं
In my 19 years in Dubai, I can say with some confidence that I think Vipul ji has been the finest Consul General of India. More than a diplomat, I think he has been a great team leader, a great community leader, He has always been in the front line, reaching out to the community, talking to people, understanding their problems. Since the coronavirus crisis began in March, I've seen him, how he handled the crisis here, how he managed the evacuation of tens of thousands of Indians, understanding their problem, prioritizing their departure from the UAE, people who had issues. It was not a mean task, and this happened, when he was about to leave. He knew that his term has ended and he's going back to Delhi, and yet he gave his 100%, working hard, working on weekends. As a journalist, I think he never said no to any information, and that is the greatest thing that any journalist, any diplomat who's engaging with the media can do. I mean, this is one quality, I think, which I will always remember.
I really don't know how you did it, but you found the time for every challenge that was thrown at you, for every query that we asked, whether it was the media, whether it was the individuals, whether it was the business community. You were there when you were needed. And that's, I can tell you, when we look back at the last 3 years, that's one quality of yours that really stands out. You were always there when you were needed. You've been a huge pillar of support throughout your tenure over here, especially over the past 3 months during these challenging times of COVID-19. But even before that, sir, I remember during the amnesty period of 2018, you were there leading from the front, helping families, undocumented workers, with day in and day out. Thousands of those people, they will remember you, and we will remember you.
Your Excellency, we are eager to hear from you. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Sibi. And I think, I'll go back very, very satisfied now after having heard so many people and after having seen this small snippet that you have put together. And I must thank each one who was there in that video for the very warm words that they have spoken about me. I hope that I was up to the task that was assigned to me by Government of India. I tried to do that to the best of my capability, and I must thank my team in the consulate for supporting me, as also the community for supporting me. So as was said by, I think, Dr. Azad Mupan, that I had an open door policy. I think all of you in the community have an open heart policy, and you have embraced me with open heart and supported me and the consulate with an open heart. I thank Ambassador for his very warm words. I think I've benefited a great deal both from him and former Ambassador Suri Saab guiding me. They're the ones who interact more with the UAE authorities, as well as with our Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other authorities. And they've always been guiding me so that we discharge our responsibilities here in the consulate well. Thank you also to Yusuf Ali Saab for his very warm words. Of course, I've known him since a long time now, since 2014. When Sushma Swaraj became foreign minister, and he's always been very jovial, always been very supportive both for Government of India as well as our embassy and our consulate. Dr. Mopan has been a friend par excellence. And I must say that in the last 3 months, when this COVID-19 pandemic was on our head, I benefited a great deal from his advice. He was the one who was very regularly in touch with DHA. And with his advice, we could do things which otherwise would have been more difficult to do. And I think it was also Esther Group's outreach as well as all their efforts that we combined with in our consulate so that we could put up the Al Warsan facility where he played such a wonderful and lead role. Paras ji, Kandhari ji, Sunil Sinha Sahab, Rizwan Sarjan, everyone has been very friendly, very supportive for our consulate. Everyone has been contributing to the community a great deal, and I think that is something which is very wonderful in Dubai, and I thank each one of them for all their efforts and all their support. Bobby Naqvi and Vicky Kapoor also spoke today. I was not expecting that they will be there, but it was heartening to note that they were happy with our work in the consulate. It has been our effort to remain engaged with the media. They do a wonderful job in terms of keeping people informed as to what is happening here in UAE and in our bilateral relations, as well as the community-centric activities that we do here in our consulate or in our embassy in Abu Dhabi. And I thank both of them for their support as well towards the community. Of course, IBPC, our business community here is so strong with several stalwarts, of course, led by Yusuf Ali Saab, Azad Mukhin Saab, but so many others, for example, Paras ji or Kandhari ji. So the community is, the business community is very strong, and equally our professional community is also very strong. I think that gave great strength and gravitas to Indian Business and Professional Council. It is the foremost council that comes under the Dubai Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And I think it plays a very influential role in terms of how Dubai evolves, how policy decisions are taken. And that is also very important for our bilateral relations, how we go ahead in terms of our trade and investment. So I've been very happy in communicating and coordinating and working together with IBPC all my more than 3 years that I've spent here. Of course, I would be frank and I would say that IBPC also has had problems in the last 3 years that I've been here. But I think every time when a need arose, IBPC has risen to the challenge. And as a community, I think that is a hallmark for all of us, that when there is a need, when we all need to get together, we have always shown that we get together and we overcome our differences and we work for the country. I think that is what IBPC has always done. I would always remember our working together with IBPC when we celebrated our 70th anniversary year of our independence, and we did a program jointly with IBPC for Expo 2020. When we were unveiling our design, we worked with IBPC at that time. There were several other occasions when we worked with IBPC together with the consulate, and apart from those events, we have had very regular coordination for ministerial visits, as well as in general, when we have had to talk about policies and what more can be done in terms of improving our trade and investment relationship. In the last 3 months, for those who did not have a chance to connect with us, we have again worked together, this time on the need of the hour, which was to support the Indian community here, as well as the community overall. And I must say that Dr. Azad Mukwan and we worked together. We thought that we must support the great effort of Dubai Health Authority in terms of supporting people who get infected because of COVID. And in March, in April, and in May, there were a lot of infections in our community as well. And there was a great demand from people for isolation and quarantine at a good pace very quickly. And at that time, we worked with DHA and with the Esther Group, and we thought we will put up this this facility for isolation, and we were given the chance to put up one building in Varsan, for which I thank again Dr. Mukwan, Mr. Shamsuddin, Mr. Mustafa. But I think what happened then was that Chairman Suresh Kumar ji by himself took the initiative, and he approached to us and said that IBPC would also like to join it in this initiative. And immediately all my concern as to how we will get the funding for this facility, that was taken care of. Of course, the community would have gotten together, but with IBPC coming with us, it was a great relief and a great initiative on the part of Suresh Kumar ji and IBPC. We have finished that work now. I think the level of incidence of infection has also come down, but that facility was greatly supported by IBPC, and I must thank Suresh Kumar ji and IBPC as a body for working together with the consulate in putting up that. I will go back very satisfied. The last 3 years, as we kept saying, and we used to do that much more pre-COVID, that these have been the golden age of India-UAE relations, and that showed in the numerous visits, including 2 visits by Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji to UAE, but countless other visits of ministers, of chief ministers, and other higher level officials from India to UAE, and also the huge number of visits from UAE to India. And that dynamism in our relationship was there for everyone to see, is there for everyone to see. And even during COVID time, both our countries have been working together in terms of supporting each other. So, you know, I won't claim that I played a big part in this, but consulate certainly does play some part in terms of facilitating these visits, in terms of taking care of the community, but also seeing as to how we can improve our trade and investment relationship with any country. And I think with UAE, we have such a wonderful partnership, historical relationship and friendship that as a Consul General, it has been my pleasure and honor to work on these initiatives. Of course, I've worked greatly on the community side of things. In COVID, of course, we have had to be at the front. We didn't have a choice, but I think that was also something that we felt that we had to be there. So my team from the consulate has been there at the airports, has been there in terms of supporting people on telephones, on meeting and working with the community to see that we could isolate people quickly if they were infectious. And I must thank all the Dubai authorities for the great support that they gave us, and then also working on these chartered flights. Now I think the situation has eased out greatly. For those who would not know this, from Dubai itself, we have sent back in the last 1.5 months or so almost 100,000 people, and in the next 10 or 15 days also a number of people would be going back. As I said in one of my interviews, every Indian who is going back from here is going with a heavy heart. Many have lost their jobs, but everyone goes back with the hope that they will come back someday and resume their jobs. I think in future, IBPC can do a wonderful job in terms of facilitating these the people return back. I think post-COVID, we would definitely see people wanting to come back. I think IBPC can identify sectors and work on initiatives as to see that people who lost their jobs and who went back or even other people from India, if they can come back. And in future, again, IBPC can play a very, very important role in terms of seeing as to how our trade and investment relationship can prosper further, and also to see as to how we can skill our people so that they are ready for the challenges of the new technological era. As we all know, UAE embraces technology very quickly, so we would all have to be on our toes in terms of fitting that role. Expo 2020 has got postponed, but we have worked quite a big deal on Expo 2020. Our pavilion was going to be the largest, will be the largest whenever one of the largest whenever Expo takes place now in 2021, and I think that will be another time when IBPC can also play a very important role. But for the Indian community, I think it will be very, very important to showcase India to the world, and especially showcase it in UAE, where we have such great friendship with the people. So today I would not take more of the time, but I would like to thank every member of IBPC for their great support to me and to the consulate. And especially to all the prominent members of IBPC, the big businessmen who are there, the top professionals who are there in IBPC for their support. And I'm sure that I will remain in touch, and I would request all of you to also remain in touch with me as I go back to India in the Ministry of External Affairs. But I'm hopeful that I will remain connected with all of you. With those words, let me thank all of you once more. Thank you very much, and thank you, Suresh Kumarji, for taking this initiative and organizing this e-farewell in the times of COVID. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Vipulji. Really appreciate. We'll certainly miss you, but you're not very far away. You're less than 3 hours away. So, and in terms of connectivity these days, it's just a minute away. So we wish you the very best. And we'd like to have a musical farewell as well following.
I would request now, thank you, Suresh sir. I would request to express our gratitude on behalf of all of us, Mr. Dilip Sinha, to introduce us with the band and to speak. Mr. Dilip Sinha.
Namaste, good evening, and Salaam Alaikum, everyone, and distinguished panelists. On behalf of IBPC, I would like to thank His Excellency, the Ambassador, Mr. Pawan Kapoor, His Excellency Vipulji, distinguished governors of IBPC, Mr. M.A. Yusuf Ali, Dr. Azad Mopin, for your participation and presence today, and your kind words, which has made this even more livelier. So thank you, sirs, for that. I also extend a warm welcome to all our members who would be watching this evening's function on the YouTube. I would also like, as we are meeting His Excellency Ambassador Pawan Kumar, wish you, sir, all the best for your tenure. I know you have joined about 8-9 months back, but wish you all the best on behalf of IBPC members and all the focus group committee members for your tenure. And we are here to collaborate, as Vipulji mentioned, with the CGI, with yourselves in furthering UAE and India business interests. You can be rest assured. I would take this opportunity to wish Vipulji all the very best, Vipulji, for your next endeavor and next assignment in Delhi. And of course, nobody is going to forget you. We are all going to remember the way you have brought up UAE and India relationship up, the way you have acted, and really you have acted from the front, and the leadership that you have shown during this unfortunate COVID crisis, standing up for the blue-collared workers, standing up for the Indian community, bringing people together, collaborating with everybody, in which we also played a small role, as you rightly mentioned. So we are not going to forget you. You'll always be remembered. Wish you all the best, Vipulji, and all the best from all the members of IBPC. And look forward to seeing you sometimes whenever you visit here. Give us a chance to probably organize a function and welcome you whenever you visit here. With that, I would like to introduce the evening's function, which is dedicated to His Excellency Vipulji. And this is a band which is formed by Abhas and Shreyas Joshi, and it's called Indie Rautis Band. And this band has performed world over in many countries. In fact, I was also told that on the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, this band was invited by Government of India representatives in South Africa, and they performed there. So really, it's a delightful band, and these two gentlemen are talented musicians and music talents who formed this band, and they are here to take you to a mesmerizing journey, which I hope all of you will enjoy. And this is dedicated to Vipulji, as I mentioned. Also, I would request all the members on YouTube to hold on in 2 minutes. Please update your browser, refresh your browser, which will allow the music band to join. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, sir. Thank you, Vipulji.
Thank you.
Thank you once again to one and all the dignitaries. I would request our members to stay back and refresh the browser. Wait for 2 minutes and refresh it. We will be live. We'll be ending this session now, and there will be a new live session starting live from Mumbai with Indie Roots. Thank you once again, all of you. Have a nice evening ahead.